right, and as you get settled in, remember that the purpose of this tall seat is to allow the energy of the breath and just all the goodness really move through you nice and strongly. So the shoulders lift up and back, and the crown of the head lifts towards the sky. And my friends, if you've been feeling a little bit frantic recently, a little overwhelmed, feel free to have your palms facing down. But if you've been feeling a little bit stuck lately, feel free to have the palms up. If you've been feeling a little fiery lately, feel free to have the fingertips together, almost like a little circle. Just gives a little bit of support, a little bit of quiet. My friends, we just settle right in this tall posture. And we begin our focusing and our centering with breath awareness, which is the simple technique of noticing the breath. Your eyes can be opened or closed. Feel free to adjust yourself any way you need. And remember, you're not stuck anywhere you put yourself to. You're not stuck there. Nice. And so you're just noticing the inhale as it comes in and the exhale as it leaves. Beginning to train the brain to focus only on one thing. And if it feels comfortable to you, begin to lengthen the breath in an effort to bring the inhale and exhale to the same length. So if you notice that the exhale is a little shorter than the inhale, go ahead and elongate it a little bit more. That will naturally give way to a lengthened breath called equal breathing and elongated breathing. Soften the jaw, allow the tongue to come away from the roof of the mouth. And my friends, these two techniques are some of the ones that I use the most. When I feel like I can't focus or I feel like I need some support, these are the two I come to. And so feel free to utilize these throughout the practice, but also in everyday life as well. A couple more breaths here, just steadying, finding support, allowing that goodness to flow. And then gently bring the palms of the hands together in front of your heart. Lift the heart to meet your hands. And I invite you to create an intention for your practice today, something really positive and powerful. Something that will bring your attention back to the mat if you get distracted or worried. And something that will stay with you throughout the day, something that you really need. Take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, turn your gaze down towards your hands to seal that intention. Release the hands to the lap. Flicker the eyelids open and bring the head to center. Good morning, everybody. Let the legs come out in front of you and shake them out. Take the hands to the hip crease. That's the place where the legs and the pelvis meet. And give yourself a little massage down the thighs, to the knees, down the legs. Press the toes forward and draw them back, forward and back. So the intention for class today is right here. Own your own happiness right here. So that's what we're working on today as we go through all of this goodness. Yeah, nice. Fantastic. Looking good, friends. I'm just adjusting my camera just a little bit more. All right. My friends, come on forward onto your hands and knees. Let's get this party started. So take your hands just outside those shoulders. Index finger straight ahead. And from here, take the knees back behind the hips a step. I like to curl my toes under, but you can do what you like. Be sure that you have your index finger knuckled down and equal pressure through all 5 fingers. Inhale and exhale as you just settle in here, feeling the strength of your body as you root down into the ground, lengthen the tailbone away from the head. Feel the shoulder blades come towards one another. And there is a space between the shoulders and the ears. Take a deep breath in, lift the tailbone, let the belly fall, look straight ahead. As you exhale, scoop the tail around the spine and gaze to your thighs. Inhale, tailbone lifts, belly falls, gaze straight ahead. This is cow. Exhale, scoop the tail around the spine and gaze to your thighs. This is cat. And so continue, my friends, with that breath, that absolute movement through the tailbone, up through the spine, into the head, aligning with the breath. No rush. Good morning, Tatiana, Rebecca, Sherry, hey. Hey, Jeanette, Sela, Kathy, Jen, Malia. Hey, Sammy, Lindsay. Hey, Amory, Ash, Suzanne. Good morning, Demetra, Carissa, Allison, Cheryl, and RJ. Welcome, friends. All right, come on back to center. Draw that belly in nice and tightly. And now, my friends, I want you to be aware of the grounding here. Remember, if you want to own your happiness, you've got to be grounded in that, right? So ground down through the hands, draw the energy up into the arms, into the shoulders, from the feet and knees, up the legs. So feel that. Let that continue to move through you as you breathe, and just hold this place. You know, sometimes we're just on the move, looking for happiness here, there, and everywhere. We forget it's right here. It's within us. We just have to let ourselves be. I'm gonna leave you with that for a little while. Do me a favor, my friends, keep yourself right where you are and walk your forearms down to the mat. Take your forearms down, elbows right underneath the shoulder. So maybe not as wide as your hands where they can come in just a little bit. And I have my palms facing one another in a neutral grip here. And from here, what I want you to do is notice how your belly may have just dropped towards the mat. Draw it into the spine. Don't round, just have a long spine. And then what I'd like you to do is lift the hands up off mat. Keep your elbows down. Take the palms together and just take your thumbs right here to your forehead. Just a little bit of a supported action here. So you're not in child's pose, you're still in hands and knees, but the elbows are down, the forearms are up, and the thumbs are supporting the head. Why do we do this? This is something I like to do to lengthen my neck and be aware of how forward I jut my head. And so here I'm lifting my hands and allowing them to support my head, because a lot of times the head just wants to drop down. We want to keep the shoulders engaged, the neck muscles strong as that head is lifted. Now go ahead and take the hands away, but leave your head exactly where it is. And the forearms can come down, the palms can come down, or they can stay in that neutral grip. That's up to you. And now what you're hopefully feeling is a little bit more strength through the shoulders, a little bit more opening. And if this does not feel good to you, feel free to sit or stand and bring the elbows to almost prayer arms in the direction of one another, and elbows lifted in line with the shoulders. And that's going to mimic that same stretch, okay? Still strengthening through the abdominals, strong and engaged through the legs. One more breath. Inhale, bring the hands back out right where they were for that tabletop position. Curl the toes under if they're not there already, my friends. Lift the knees, power up the core, especially the abdominals, and then slowly lift your hips, lengthen the legs, and lower the heels in the direction of the mat for downward facing dog. Remember, my friends, in this position, you're in the upside down V position with your feet pretty far away from your hands. Resist the urge to bring them towards one another. We want to work on spinal length. So from your fingertips, you're lifting that energy up the arms and pressing back. You're lengthening your chest, trying to reach it back behind you, but you're lifting yourself up and then sliding back. Gaze is forward. The toes press down, they're spread, and the feet are maybe 3 to 4 inches apart from one another. But here's the thing. If you're tight through the hamstrings, you might have to bring your feet a little wider. If that doesn't work, bend the knees. It's okay to have bent knees in down dog, especially if that's what brings your spine long, and that's what we want to focus on. Keep thinking of sending the inner thighs and hamstrings back, but it's okay if it doesn't straighten. That's not a problem. One more breath. If you're not coming to down dog, remember child's pose is a viable option, or half forward fold at the wall, not a problem. Take a deep breath in, lift your heels, exhale, walk your feet forward to Uttanasana. Press the feet down, take your hands forward of your feet about 12 inches to align the hips right over top of the heels. Press down through all 10 toes and lift that energy on up. Little softness to the knees. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, fold. If you're not reaching to the ground, take your hands to your legs or the wall in front of you. Inhale, lengthen the spine again. We've got 2 more. Exhale, fold 1 more time. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Press the feet down. Take your hands to your hip crease. Lift the elbows, the shoulders. Lengthen the spine as you begin to stand. Reach the arms up overhead. Palms come together. Nice. Exhale the hands to heart center. Press down through the feet, stand tall. Feel your strength. Soften around it. Deep breath in, reach the arms up overhead. Exhale, fold. Press the hands and feet down. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, fold. Hands beside your feet, bend your knees. Take the left leg back behind you. Lower the knee to the mat. Lift the chest. Low lunge with the knee to the mat. Align your front knee over top of the ankle. Remember, if you're not coming down to the mat today, this back knee can be lifted. You can hold on if you need to for balance. When we step back to plank, you'll step forward to Tadasana or plank at the wall. Now, my friends, lift that chest up. Draw the shoulder blades onto the back. If your toes aren't curled under, tuck them under now. Lift the back knee. Exhale, step back to plank. Press the heels back. Lengthen the spine. Lift the head. I know some of you have been doing the May challenge of plank and wall sit. It's up to 3 minutes. Whew, that's a long time, my friends. How strong you've gotten. Be really conscious of your positioning here. This is just like Tadasana, that standing mountain pose, except for we're on our hands, right? I know, but nice and tall, nice and strong. Remember that lift in the head that we did with the forearms down in hands and knees? Lift that up. Now lower the knees down, but keep the head lifted. Heart comes forward, bend the elbows towards the sides of the body as you let the upper body come on down for chaturanga. My friends, check in with the shoulders. They should be up and back. Slide the body forward, press down through the tops of the feet, lengthen the tailbone back, squeeze the glutes as you rise to cobra. Remember, you do have an option to take your forearms down. If you're not coming to your belly today, press yourself up from that push-up and take that kneeling backward bend. Or remember, if you're at the wall today, not a problem, right? You take that chaturanga at the wall, you take your cobra at the wall, or you do the whole thing freestanding. You never have to put your hands down if you don't want to. So this practice really is accessible to all. My friends, take a deep breath in, curl the toes under, press back, down dog. Take a deep breath in, lift the hips up and back, squeeze from the hands and feet on up, and let all that energy course into the core, and exhale, settle those heels in the direction of the mat, just a little bit more. It's okay if they don't touch. Inhale, lift your heels, exhale, walk your feet forward to Uttanasana, press the feet down, inhale, rise. Bring the palms up overhead, exhale the hands to heart center, just take a moment. 2 breaths here. Feeling that strength, feeling that goodness flow through you, opening your heart to that happiness. Deep breath in, reach the arms up overhead. Exhale, fold. Press the hands and feet down, inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, fold. From here, bend the knees, sit the hips back, draw the belly in, and stay forward folded in your chair pose here. So we've got that forward folded chair. The chest is lifted, your fingertips are reaching the direction of the ground. It's okay if they don't touch. And now, lengthen the arms forward, keep your chest on your thighs. Check in with the knees. So if you take a look at me, right, my knees are a little bit wider than my feet. See if you can hug those knees in so that they're the same distance as the feet. Good, chest still on the thighs. Why? Because I want you to feel the belly pull away from the thighs. I want you to have that frame of reference. Good. Heart rate's probably lifting really high, right? I know. Keep that chest up, shoulder blades on the back. Now be careful, right? Notice if the chin is jutting forward. Lift the head up and back. Settle in just a little bit more. We got this. Good. Deep breath in. Exhale, fold. Woo! Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Hands beside your feet. Bend your knees. The right foot steps back. Let the knee come to the mat. Lift the chest as you bend the front knee over top of the ankle. Now, my friends, your back knee is behind your hip so that you can get that hip flexor stretch. But remember, you don't want to drop the hips down to the ground. Instead, from the feet, you press down and lift up and drag these legs towards one another so you use their strength. It's like squeezing the muscle as you come up from a bicep curl, right? Drag them in and then lift from there. Nice. Keep that strength. Inhale, lift the back knee. Exhale, step back to plank. Remember, if you're not coming down to the mat, the back knee could have been lifted in that lunge, and then you step forward to Tadasana or plank at the wall. My friends, do me a favor. Hug your forearms. Hug your legs towards one another. What I find is when we're challenged, whether in exercise or life, right? All of a sudden, our energy starts to go all over the place. We gotta hug it in. So hugging through the forearms, hugging through the legs. Now keep that hug into the center as either you lower the knees down or keep them lifted and you lower yourself into chaturanga. So keep that energy boiling into the center of the body. As you come on down, slide the body forward for cobra. Curl the toes, down dog. Breathe here. Take a deep breath in, slide your body forward to plank. Breathe. And now, bend the right elbow, lower it down onto the ground. And then the left elbow. Now, if this plank position with the knees lifted is too much, take the knees down. But you want to be aware that this place is different from where we were earlier, which was here. So take a look at the difference. This is where we were earlier in hands and knees, but now we have that modified plank version or the full plank version with the elbows down. Now you want your elbows to be shoulder width apart, not much wider, and your shoulders can be right underneath the elbows or a smidge forward. Shoulders up and back. Draw everything up off the ground. One more breath. Head lengthening. Good, my friends. Nice. Woo. Very slowly. Try not to rock side to side. Come on back up to high plank. Good, press yourself up and back. Very nice. Lift the heels, inhale, exhale, walk your feet forward to Uttanasana. Press those feet down, inhale, rise. Palms come up overhead. Exhale, the hands to heart center. Fantastic, everybody. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, fold. Press the hands and feet down, inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold, my friends. Take 2 steps back to downward facing dog, or if you don't want to transition from down dog, stay in Tadasana or that forward fold position. Now, if you're in down dog, feel free to lift that right foot up towards the sky into 3-legged dog. Draw those arms towards one another, strong legs. Press that right foot up and back. Bend the knee into the chest, step the foot in between your hands. Remember, if it doesn't get there on the first try, you get stuck. Take the hand to the ankle and move it. Spin the back foot down, bend the front knee over top of the ankle, rise to warrior 2. Good. Strong stance. Press those feet down, draw the energy in and up. Slide that heart up, shoulder blades come out to the back, slide the arms away. Good, take a deep breath in and now settle down. Settle right in. Good. Now what I'd like you to do is take these elbows, bend them. Take the hands and cup the back of your head in your hands. So my hands are like this behind me. Okay, cup the head. It's almost like you're gonna hit a volleyball up, right? Cup the head and gently give a lift. So I'm doing this with my hand. It's a gentle lift. Elbows out, belly brace. So the more you lift the head, the more the belly pulls in and the deeper you sink. Good, now you can keep your left hand here and take that right arm back out. Good, this is called cupping. Head cupping. Draw the belly in, sink a little deeper. Good, it lengthens the neck. Allows those muscles to relax, but then be used in a good way. Good, now keep that length. Hands come down, step back, down dog. Big exhale. Whew. Lots of work in the shoulders today, my friends, but guess what? When you want to own your happiness, you got to stand with confidence, right? You got to be willing to say, I'm owning this, right? I'm digging in deep within myself. I'm letting things come through. When you're ready, left foot rises towards the sky. Send it back, feel your strength. Steady here, breathe. Legs hug in, even though they're apart. Then when you're ready, bend the knee, step the foot in between your hands. Spin the back foot down, rise on up to warrior 2 on the left-hand side. These legs, my friends, are so far apart from one another. You want to do that because we want to allow this thigh to just settle in the direction of parallel. Because what happens is the more the leg stays on this angle, the tighter we get here, and most of us are already tight in our hip flexor. So settle in. Yeah, so what I'm doing here is just taking my hand to that inner crease and sliding it in this direction. Slide the arms away, breathe in, and if you like, you don't have to do it. You can take that cupping again, lifting, lengthening, belly drawing in, settle in. So as your head lifts, don't lift through the knees, right? Sink in a little deeper. So that opposition of the spine, really important. And then you can keep your right hand there and take the left hand back out. You can even look over top of that hand. One more breath. Hands come down, step back to plank. Keep the head lifted. Imagine that cupping happening. We lower down to that forearm plank. Hold, breathe. You can do this at the wall, right? Come on back up. Nice. Heart forward, chaturanga. Slide forward to cobra, belly braced. Shoulders up and back. Curl the toes. Press back down dog. Send the inner thighs back. Draw that belly in nice and strong through these legs. You feel more strength in the legs than you do tension in the shoulders and hands and wrists. And remember that head, just like we cupped it, lengthen it, lift it. Lower the knees down to the mat. Take a moment, find your child's pose. Hips back towards the heels. I keep my head lifted in child's pose because I get really bad headaches when I let my head come down. But you feel free to take the head down, but not for long. We're not resting too long here. All right, my friends, slide your body on up. Good. All right, so take your arms out in front of you. Bend the elbows, palms face inward like this, okay? Now, take a note of the elbows. Instead of them dropping down, lift them up. Good, shoulders up and back, crown of the head lifted. Think of cupping. You could even take one hand or both here, lengthen. So you're not taking your head back this way. What you're doing is just letting the head come into the hands and then lifting it up. Because most of us are here. So when we take the hands right here, it gives us a place to come back to, but really coming to neutral, right? And then lifting and lengthening, keeping that jaw nice and even. And then bring your hands back here. And you could begin to inch the forearms towards one another, inch the wrists and hands towards one another. And it's okay if they don't touch. So my friends, this is where you can stay. If you don't want to come down onto your forearms again, you can stay here. You can really work this. You could sit or stand and do this, okay? And what that's doing is opening and strengthening the shoulders, which is so important, right, for posture. Otherwise, we're going to come into dolphin. And so you did a couple of prep exercises for this. So on your knees, take the forearms down. Now take a look for a second. You all can see me pretty closely, right? So take a look here first. Before you come down, actually just watch me for a second. So when I come down into dolphin, this is a really good tip. I come down on my forearms with that neutral grip. You see how my palms face one another? Then, and actually what I'll do is I'll turn my palms up. I'll have my arms exactly where I want them to be, the width I want them. And from this palms up action, I turn my palms inward and down. What that does is locks your skin against the mat. The reason is when you just come down and place your hands down, the elbows want to edge out and slide. And so what this does is allows you to lock it in. So you come down with the palms facing up and then turn the palms towards one another and take the palms down, shoulders up and back still. So no shoulders forward, shoulders up and back still. And you see now my elbows won't rock out. They hug in. So I can still hug in and press out at the same time. So you might try that. And it's okay if you don't like that. Not every tip works for everybody. So when you come down, my friends, please don't rush. Hands and elbows, same distance. So no hands closer. So take a look, not like this. Parallel. Index finger straight ahead. So imagine my hands were on the ground. They're just like this. And shoulder width, okay? From here, in this position, what you can do is a couple of things. You can curl the toes under and lift to a puppy dog position, which is this knees lifted position. You can stay down here. You can lift your knees up. You can lift one knee or the other, and then you could slowly begin to lift the hips towards the sky. And like down dog, it's okay if your legs don't straighten all the way, but they may, and then in which case you can stay right here in a down dog with the forearms down, or you can begin to walk your feet towards your shoulders, but keeping your shoulders above or slightly behind those elbows at all times. Eyes gazing towards the forearms or in front of your fingertips. Draw the belly in. This is really intense, my friends, which is why I took a lot of time to build up to this and showed you a ton of options so you have somewhere else to go if this doesn't feel good to you. Nice. Now, my friends, remember, in down dog, in hands and knees, even in plank, there's no rounding of the spine. So do your checks, right? We want to take care of ourselves. We want to honor that spine and really, really make sure it's in good alignment. Nice. Breathe through. I love all the different options I'm seeing. Remember, you can be at the wall with your forearms down. You could be seated in the air with your forearms up. Good. One more breath. And then slowly allow yourself to come down. Nice. And then sit up, whether it's on your heels like this, like how I am, or you can sit on your bottom. It's up to you, okay? Now what I'd like you to do is take your fingertips beside you. Open the shoulders up and back. So this should feel really good actually now that you just worked them so hard. Now I'd like you to begin to walk your hands behind you, keeping the shoulders up and back. So you see how the head of my arm bone faces up, right? That's really important. Remember, again, because, and I'm not judging you, please know that. It's because we spend so much time here, cooking, cleaning, everything's in front of us. We're naturally here. Rarely are we sitting and cooking and cleaning with this tall, strong posture, right? It's just not what happens. It's not real life. And so lift that heart up and back. So you imagine how much time you're awake for, right? And you're in that rounded position. Head jutting forward. If you've watched Jerry Maguire, you know how heavy a head is, right? 8 pounds. And so belly is drawing back, so we're still engaged there. And now what you can begin to do is take the hands as far back as you feel comfortable. You're feeling a broadening in the chest, a length of the head. So you could even bring one hand to the cup just to make sure. I do this all the time, even when I'm in in-person classes with people I don't know, right? I'm doing my checks. I want to make sure. So the last thing I want to do is tweak something and undo all the really good work I've just done in the class. Now, what you can do is keep your hands exactly where they are, but begin to lift them, and that's going to open and intensify what you're feeling in the chest. You can also bring the fingertips towards one another like this, and see if you can begin to slide them in the direction of one another. But remember, what's the key? As the fingers slide towards one another, you're not rounding, right? You're keeping everything up and back still. So you're having a back bend, opening the chest towards the sky now, feeling wherever it is you're comfortable to go, shoulders up and back. And if that's too intense, just stay right here. It's nice and linear. You don't have to take the backward bend, it's just an option. And then very slowly come back to center if you took the back bend option, and then release the hands. Nice, and then that's gonna lead us nicely into our twisting position because we want to stay lifted in the chest. So from here, you got a couple of options. You can keep your left leg extended, your right knee bent and take the foot across, or you can bend that outstretched leg. Just be sure, my friends, that both sit bones are down and this front leg, foot down, knee up. Now, take the right hand back behind you, left elbow comes across the knee or across the thigh. Pause, inhale, lift, that's fine, good. From the abdominals first, that belly button, twist towards the right, shoulders are up and back. So my friends, you still mimic that position we were just in, but now we're twisting it. And my friends, remember, this is where we get into the hips, the sides of the back, the low back. If your right hip is really anchored, you're gonna feel that. So that's this hip, it wants to lift, right? Anchor it down, you're really gonna feel something there. And then obviously feel the left side as well. So what does happiness look like? Does it mean having everything you want? Does it mean, having luxuries? Is it simply, everybody being in good health? Having just enough? What does it look like for you? Take a deep breath in and come on back to center and switch sides. So shake those legs out and then switch. So now, the right leg is out, the left knee bends over, or you can bring it in, up to you. Left hand comes back, sit up tall, right elbow across or across here, it's up to you. Lift the chest and exhale, lengthen. Now, my friends, remember the twist always comes from the abdomen, not the head, right? That's our ego talking. And if you're not twisting today, I should have said this before, if you're not twisting today, feel free to come into any position and take side bends instead. That's not a problem, okay? So my friends, a conversation about happiness, it can be a slippery slope because sometimes our happiness really isn't rooted in reality. It's sometimes rooted in what we see on social media, what the media tells us, maybe what our parents have told us, perhaps our own ideals or ideas of what we should have accomplished by now. But if you really truly ask yourself at the barest bones, what does happiness mean to me? You're gonna open the door to a lot of goodness. Take a deep breath in and come on back to center, and let's prepare for Shavasana. Taking your feet the width of the mat, arms by your sides, about 6 to 10 inches away, palms facing upward. Lengthen the spine, head away from heels. Allow yourself to just settle into this mat, my friends. feel supported. Know how loved and blessed you are to have been able to move this body, to strengthen it, to challenge it, and allow yourself from the tips of your toes to just relax. Right on up the legs, through the pelvis and the torso, the arms, the neck, the head. My friends, I encourage you to stay here as long as you can, enjoying this goodness, this pure gold of this practice, this rest and rejuvenation. Thank you for allowing me to lead you today. I wish you continued good health, peace, and happiness until the next time we meet. Namaste.